Hello, Greg. How are you?
Hello, Bayar. How are you? Very
I'm
good.
doing great. Yeah, I'm very excited for this. I hope we will have no more technical issues this time, but
Hope
everything
so
feels
too.
really good. So,
Yes. No, I switched to satellite internet, so I hope that Elon Musk technology will not let us down this time.
I actually saw some news last week that Starlink was down globally for a while, and I think it was the first time when they had downtime. But
Let's
that's
hope that
super
we don't
rare.
have the second one today.
Yeah, good. And thank you everybody for tuning in as well. We tried to do this on Wednesday. We couldn't do it. So we were talking about the technical difficulties that we had. So we had to reschedule the town hall. But now we're very confident and ready to talk to you guys and to tell you what we've been doing, what we've been working on. Greg, speaking about this, what has xMoney been doing in the last, let's say, 1 year, since the beginning of the year or since you joined?
xMoney is actually building everything, differently, and is working really hard in many different aisles. The first one is infrastructure. We are building infrastructure that can scale, which is very important if we want to capture, the global markets. Stable infrastructure is of paramount importance. So we changed, processors for issuing and acquiring that we are doing payments, but also we are building quite interesting products on the crypto side, like stablecoin, as you probably all know. And of course, we're building like all the right, rails in order to facilitate also the crypto side of the business. So that's very important. Infrastructure is number one if you want to scale. And the second one is that we are building a new team, which is to myself is the most important thing. So we're building a whole new team that help us achieve our business plan and also take us to the next level. So we have built like a top-notch team of leaders. Each of them are leaders in their field, and they have elevated the level of work inside the firm into considerable different scale. The third and last one is that we are building a super solid strategy for business development because we think that business development is quite important and it's something that we were being lacking for quite a few years. So we're building a whole new model for business development, and there, hopefully, very soon we will share some great news that it seems to be working, and it gives us, the reassurance that our strategy is the right one to approach the market and acquire or convert new clients, which is merchants and of course consumers. These are the three things I would say that they are the most important ones: infrastructure, team, and business development strategy.
That's very exciting. I think they all the three different let's say pillars or areas of growth, they tie into each other really well. So you can't have one without the others, in my opinion. And I've seen that
Absolutely.
recently. I know there's many people who are asking on our social media channels about the stablecoin. And the reality is that since we announced it, we've had to overcome a lot of hurdles and a lot of blockers. We've been discussing with regulators, with the national banks. We've been discussing with our partners in this project, and the regulation is there. So MiCA is now active; it's live. But issuing a stablecoin on MiCA is not that easy. So I think that the entry point or the entry barriers are high, and not anybody can do this. If you look at the infrastructure that you need, if you look at the banking partners that you need in the European space, first of all, it's challenging, and I think what's important is that we need to do it right. And when we go to market with this, to have an impact in our community, in our ecosystem. So that's one of the things that's really exciting for me in the coming, let's say, months, I would say. And related to the second one with the team, I think I'm very happy to be part of that team, Greg, and thank you for bringing me into to xMoney. Um, for everybody who doesn't know me, I've been with xMoney since May. I think that's already makes 3 or 4 months, which have passed really, really quickly. But somehow it feels really right to be here. I think all the last 10 years of my career brought me up to this point here because I've been working in payments for 10 years. I've been working in blockchain for the last 4 years. And I can use all this experience that I gathered in the traditional payment space and in the crypto payment space to actually bring the value to xMoney. And ever since I joined that in May, I realized like what a good foundation we have to be able to grow in a successful and sustainable way. Starting from the licensing part, xMoney is like has secured the licenses on the fiat EMI and on the VASP side, which is going to be fully MiCA compliant with our companies. So this is again, this is something that many players in the industry struggle with, and they find that it's very challenging and difficult to get properly licensed in Europe. Starting from that, like Greg said, like you said, all the people, all the team here is really, really great and really good professionals, and I really love the way that we're building the team. I'm really looking forward to continue to work with the new global team, which I think we should introduce here for the first time, Greg, maybe. What do you say?
Sure, you have like several people that they join the team. Yourself is the first one that is, dealing with all the finance and economics. So we are very happy to have you because you have like a distinct, for me, ability understanding the business side of things, and not only the finance side, which is sometimes very difficult, or most of the time it's very difficult. So we're really, really happy to and lucky to have you in the team. Then we have people that they are dealing with the product, like Minas Kitsos, that he's coming from payments, very strong background in payments and API payments build up. Then we have just recently joined Valadis, that he's on the technical side, and he's gonna elevate in the ability of xMoney to build like a super robust and reliable products, because as you know, payments is now. It's not like in 10 minutes or in 15 minutes or tomorrow. Either you do the payment now or you don't. So it's a very demanding industry with a lot of infrastructure. And from my experience, to be honest with you, when I joined payments like almost 8 years ago, in my first endeavor in EveryPay here in Greece, that we sold into the biggest marketplace in Greece, which is Crouch, I actually did the second PhD. It's crazy complex and very, 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 how can I say, difficult to protect yourself from all the different technical difficulties. So having like a very good, technical guys, it's amazing. Then the team was, joined also Jarno. Jarno, he has a huge experience, like 25 years from business development in Central Europe. He's an amazing guy. He's based in Germany, and we're very happy to have him as well, because, as I said, BD is of the paramount importance in our industry, and that relates very much into the stablecoin launch, which, as Bayar said, is regulatory very challenging. Second, MiCA is still new, and so the regulators are still, researching and actually having a lot of questions themselves how this will play out. The banks also are quite reluctant to open, custody accounts or any type of, relationships with this new type of products that are going to flood the markets. So there we are super lucky because we have the ability to have this in our place and in the firm. And the third one, the technical part also is quite challenging because you need the product that it works. And now coming back to why Jarno is very important and the BD is that we don't want to be just in the news as, oh, we just launched another stablecoin. That's not what we care. What we do care is, do we have the business to actually use this stable coin, because this usage is going to give value into the stable coin, and of course enterprise value to xMoney's books. So our concern is always to build the business side, and that's why the coming of Siourounis was quite important. Of course, I have to also excel, Laura, that she's running the business into Romania, that she's doing a great job, and she's very, very, smart, and she has helped us a lot. And other people in the team, in the senior team, like Benny, and of course, our marketing team, like with Alex now joining. So we're super happy that we have a very good team in all levels, and we're still building it up. And also we have like 3-4 very, very, very senior advisors that they are going to help us a lot in our pillar, which is global expansion. We're not here to stay in Europe. We're here to solidify and somehow get the market share that we think we deserve in Europe. But our eyes are in other regions as well. For example, Africa and Latin America, where with our partners, we want to increase our presence either through our products, the stablecoin, or our business in the card side and the consumer side.
So I've seen the work that we've been doing on infrastructure upgrading, and this is all related to scalability and stability, I think. And our global ambitions are really, really dependent on this. I think it's an investment that we're doing this year for the future. Yeah, for sure. There's no other way, and this is the right way to do it. This is the right way to do it. And this also involves the stablecoin efforts as well, related to the infrastructure, the card issuing as well, related to the infrastructure. So we've been upgrading, I think since Q2 or even before, all our infrastructure when it comes to the processing and with the networks and with the schemes. Also introducing new products and features on the traditional space as well. So the global ambitions are not just ambitions, Greg. And I think it's important to tell the people online here that we're working to make that real, and it's one of our let's say top goals on the long term. So this is the very exciting part of xMoney.
Yes, and if you allow me to add is that all the partners that we have chosen are, with the prerequisite that they can serve us in the global scale, not in Europe only. So, which is very important. So everything that we do, it has this in the background, and as you said, building the infrastructure, the right infrastructure, is the bare minimum that you need in order to then add products and, of course, add users on top of it. If you don't have the right, rails, it's very difficult in the industry we are to go anywhere. And honestly, I'm super happy because the team has reacted so fast and so agile. It was so agile that, we just integrated like 2 new processors in like 3 months. This is impossible. If you don't have the knowledge in payments, this can take you 2 years. So I know that, our audience here, which is online, is coming more from the, more maybe from the, let's say crypto side and, that lens. But trust me, if we don't have the right, infrastructure, and we cannot, build on the infrastructure and sell the products and go to the market with something that is plausible and structured and safe and scalable, then the value that we can generate from that is limited. Otherwise, what can we say to people that we do payments but we don't do? I mean, it's like a fallacy that we create. That's why infrastructure infrastructure and team is super important. And this last year is like a complete reformation that gives at least 10 times more value to I think the project xMoney.
And I would also like to add, because we're not necessarily looking at our payments ecosystem in terms of fiat and crypto anymore. I think what we're looking at is like we're looking at a unified way of seeing payments, and I think this is key for several reasons. First, because there's still a lot of reluctance from the traditional space and traditional merchants, partners, banks to actually get involved with crypto, due to lack of regulation, due to lack of, in my case, accounting standards and policies. And secondly, the global adoption, starting with Europe, where we are present right now, the global adoption of crypto is still very, very low. And I think for that reason, the way to go forward with payments, which can be like a real, a real use case that brings people together, brings together the fiat and the crypto world, and also contributes to increasing of global blockchain adoption. And that's why we're basically looking at payments as a whole.
Right.
I think virtually.
Right. And if I may add here, I mean, if you think about it, it's the first time maybe in the last 60 years since the schemes emerged, the payment schemes like Visa and Mastercard. It's the first time in the world, in this payments world, that you have an infrastructure that can change the way that people are actually transacting. It's a blockchain as a technology. It's the technology of payments. I mean, in its core, in its core, in the seminal paper of Satoshi, I mean, it's talking about peer-to-peer transactions, right? It's the first thing that says, you don't need like an intermediary to verify if you have an account here or an account there. So the core is payments. Now, if you don't understand that core, then you're out of the game. And as you see globally, all the payments, traditional payment, players like Stripe, like Adyen, like everybody, they're trying to get into this infrastructure as fast as they can, which is what the single most important element here is having a stablecoin. Why? Because it's the translator of any value into something that can travel fast, transparently, and it's actually also very cheap. So I know that in the ears of people, cheap does not always mean good, but here it's very good. Why? Because we want people to transact fast and secure and in a reliable way, because that increases, or economic theory shows that increases tremendously the trust in the system, and also it increases the turnover of income, which is one of the most important, elements of a healthy economy. You need the liquidity in the system. So the higher the liquidity in the system, the better for everybody. So that's why I think that xMoney is actually in the eye of, or let's say in the center of a revolution that is coming, and this revolution is gonna come from infrastructures. Very much like the one that xMoney is building right now.
And you mentioned the stable coins. I think they're also easier to understand by people who are not actively involved in the blockchain. They find the familiar setting, which is the underlying fiat currency. I think that's important. But that comes with huge responsibilities from the stablecoin issuers and distributors and everybody in the supply chain or in the value chain of stablecoins. And that's why I think regulations such as MiCA actually has a great, very important and positive role in leading this transformation or revolution of payments. I think I'm not saying it's perfect, so don't get me wrong. I have a lot to comment about MiCA, but I think generally and principally speaking, I think it's a very good step forward that Europe somehow made before everybody else. And if you look, the US is following suit. The rest of the world will do it as well. But it's very, very important for stablecoins to be properly regulated, not over-regulated, but properly regulated to offer the trust and the consumer protection and safeguarding of all the assets that belong to the users of the stablecoin in the end. So this is key, I think, for a consistent and healthy growth of the whole payments ecosystem.
Absolutely. And actually, just to add on MiCA, I mean, it's the first time that Europe actually is innovating ahead of other regions that they have let's say the transition of innovating like Silicon Valley. So until 2-3 years ago, we were saying that the regulator of Silicon Valley is the European Commission, because there was first an innovation on the other side of the Atlantic, and then the European Commission was coming with a lag of 3 to 10 years to put some regulation around that. It's the first time that actually MiCA is giving a head start to Europe. It's difficult to implement, and people need to understand that we're talking about a new regulation into a quite, heavily regulated region, per se. So we have to be patient with the regulators, and also we have to help them understand that, technology is here to stay. Blockchain is here to stay as a technology, angle. And of course, everybody that is, building on this technology and adding value for the consumers, and of course for the entire, economy, it should be, supported, and of course, given the right, let's say, rails and directions to thrive. Why I'm saying that? Because at the end of the day, you don't need to know that you are using, blockchain in your everyday, actions or transactions. What you do need to know is that the transaction that you do is safe, is reliable, and also it's fast, and of course it's cheap. So I'm a very big believer that this is going to happen quite very soon, and the stablecoin element is the one that is the, let's say, the small road that leads to the highway for blockchain. So everything will go through that, because it's well understood. It's very solid in its fundamentals, and of course it shifts the responsibility, as Bayar, you said, from the consumer, who only needs to know if what I'm using is the right thing and creates value, into the issuers, and of course the banks, and of course all the entire system, on how we should ensure that all this is working. Now, in the eyes of the traditional, or let's say the not traditional, but on the eyes of the ethos of decentralization, this might look okay, guys, but now we are going back to centralization. No, is the answer. What we're trying to do is we're trying to create these tools that they will lead into increased access into this new technology. So decentralization has nothing to do with that. It's a different story altogether, and I can go on and talk for hours. Even protocols that are pretty well known are they have a Satoshi coefficient of 3. So let's not be excited or disincentivized from regulation that leads to less decentralization. No, that should not be the way that we should be looking at. We should be looking at what can we do in order to increase access, safe access for people, for all of us, into this new technology, and what is the added value that this technology is going to have on a consumer level, and of course on the community level. So the higher the number of people that are getting involved, the community by itself, if we see it as a network in the network economics space, it increases value exponentially.
Mm-hmm. It's a compound effect.
Exactly.
When it comes to the growth.
Effect.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yes, and it's something that honestly, blockchain as a whole new industry has not kept up into its promises due to the very limited, penetration into the everyday life of consumers. However, that's why we're here. xMoney is the way. Is one of its visions is that payments should be as easy as walking in the park. So in order to achieve that, we have the technology.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And to add to this, I think it's very important that we start from Europe, which is the first regulated continent, and this will make it easier for us to expand to other regions and other continents, where similar regulations are going to be implemented. Payments need to be seamless, and people don't necessarily have to care if they're paying in fiat in crypto. This is not I don't think this is the way to go forward. I think in the future payments will be unified, and I mentioned this already. But even in the context of of stablecoin have many use cases, as we've seen in the press, in what other companies are doing. But I think it's important to start with the use cases where it's the most needed, and then we can figure out new use cases. I really like to start from the problem and then find the solution, instead of finding a product and a solution and then finding what we can do with it and what it can solve. So let's
Yes.
solve the core issues of payments, whether it's cross-border, whether it's different settlements between regions, between businesses, and so on and so forth. Let's solve that first, and then we can think about new use cases for stablecoin. Because what we've seen at least in this cycle, that one of the key negative points are stablecoin. You have other things like AI, which is a very big negative, but stablecoin is definitely something. I remember for example, in the last cycle, everybody was talking about the multiverse in general, and they were building whole worlds, virtual worlds here and there. Everybody was doing that. Today, in today's world, you don't hear too much about that. So I cannot help but wonder or question, like, are stablecoins just a negative of this cycle for businesses and companies to raise funds or to become more sellable, or is it something that will be here on the long term? Will it replace fiat or will it complement fiat? And how will people get access to this in the easiest way?
Yeah, very good question, Bayar. And you said something that triggered another big region, which is AI. I mean, imagine an AI agent trying to pay for your coffee. What's going to happen? I mean, blockchain is actually a technology that is built for machines to machines. It's not built for humans to machines. So this is something that people don't realize it. I mean, but the only way two machines can safely and securely transact is if they use a blockchain layer. And here, myself, I'm agnostic to the which blockchain will prevail from the, let's say, top 10 that we have out there. But at the same time, I do understand that there are some technologies that they're better for payments and some others better for storage of value. The bottom line is that AI agents cannot do anything without blockchain elements. And one, of course, element is transactions. So how two machines can safely and securely do transactions. As I said, just paying your coffee. Or we just read like a few weeks ago that there is a new AI agent that came up and can actually search for vacations and book a ticket for you and pay for it. So the payment angle still is there to be resolved. Why? Because there has so much complexity and is so regulated all over the world that it's something that will be resolved last or will be resolved with xMoney. I'm very proud of that because we are ahead on this game because yes, we are always looking for solutions or our stablecoin to be AI compatible, and that's something that we want to work on. It's something that it's in our agenda, and we want to be the first in the world that we will have it ready in the near future. Now, another thing that we don't realize is that AI is fantastic, but we have to have some way of ensuring about the fidelity of the data is using to produce results. So, what is the best technology? Blockchain. I mean, it's, I don't see a way of this technology to not be the dominant technology along with AI in the next 10, 20 years. Yes, there are other things like quantum, computing and biotech and going to space technologies and robots. But blockchain is going to be a core software, a core software application, or let's say technology, or element in everything we do in the future. Now, what this has to do with payments, I mean, payments are everywhere. So if you want to be on the edge of this new era that's coming, you better have like the right products that they can serve in that new era. Now, you said something about, okay, what about the wave and if this is going to die out? I mean, if we think that the use of AI and AI agents, robots and machines are going to die out, then yes is the answer. But if we think that this is not going to happen, actually the opposite is going to happen, then I don't see a way of stable coins going down to the black oblivion once the cycle is ending. The contrary, I would say. What's going to happen is there, as you very correctly said, Bayar, we'll see also some consolidation, which means that, at the end of the day, you'll be paying with, let's say, xMoney stable, but then maybe on the other side, you receive some other stable. That will happen. So unification is going to happen. And we're expecting it because at the end of the day, what I think is going to happen is that every bank is going to have its own stablecoin. And then there's going to be like a huge aggregator that's going to convert one to the other in a very transparent and safe and cheap way. So I see in the future having like a wealth or a marketplace of stablecoins where, each of us, depending on the application we use, we might use one of them. But at the end of the day, I will be able to, transact with my uncle in Australia, and he will receive or she will receive her own or his own stable familiar to his own bank. But me, I will pay with my familiar stablecoin, which is xMoney.
Just like, for example, all the euro banknotes are specific to each of the countries in the eurozone. They're the same currency, but their design is different, and you can immediately tell where they're from. So I think that's a very nice parallel. But trying to close the loop of the ecosystem, because payments has always two sides: somebody who pays, somebody who receives. We're working on our acquiring products for crypto and fiat acquiring, so for card payments as well. But on the other side, we also have the card product. Yeah. So I think this really ties in nicely and closes part of the loop, or one of the loops, if I can put it that way. Yeah. And I just want to to start imagining the possibilities of what we can do in our own ecosystem when we talk about incentives. Yeah, because you were saying before, I can use one stable coin or another stable coin, one token, another payment method. So the idea is that how incentives work in our ecosystem to be able to, let's say, motivate users, merchants, customers, partners, anybody in the ecosystem to actually adopt a certain payment method or adopt a certain product or marketing campaign or anything like that. And I think incentives are a really, really important part of the whole ecosystem that we are building. Yeah. And this is something which we can discuss a lot philosophically, principally, but it's something that we are working on also intensely in the background, because ultimately, in order to have a payments ecosystem like xMoney is, you need to be able to provide value to all the players of the ecosystem, all the different stakeholders, whether they're merchants or let's say card issuers or card holders or I don't know, advertisers and everybody else. And I think xMoney is in a very good position and very well positioned to be able to do that, because we have all the products that kind of tie in the whole ecosystem together. And that's what is very, very, again, very huge opportunity for the future that we're working to capture.
Yeah, absolutely. And I would say that, xMoney, I think it's one of the very few players out there. I know that there are others, and we run a horse race. But, what is the holy grail right now for incentives? As you said, Bayar, the holy grail is interoperability. So xMoney is working on an infrastructure, a very, very low infrastructure level where you can interoperate these incentives. Because, the main problem that all these loyalty programs that they're like with us for now 60 years, the first one, I think it was from American Airlines back in the 80s or even earlier. It's interoperability. I go and I buy, let's say, a pair of shoes. Okay, the shoe store is rewarding me, but then what the heck I'm going to do with these, points? I don't know what to do them. Maybe I won't buy again a pair of shoes from there. And this infrastructure needs a very specific, technology that xMoney is innovating, and we are going to have some great news for our community in the coming month or months about that, which is exactly why we are very silent on this, and we think that it is going to resolve the way that all this value is moving between consumers and merchants, or between consumers themselves, or between merchants themselves. So they're like different, aisles that you have to think how this value is of course, created at the first place, and then how it's been transferred within the ecosystem. So that's what xMoney, I think, is going to thrive, and it's going to make the news very soon. I cannot say more of that.
This is very exciting, and we've seen, like you said, different players in the industry taking on the same path, basically. Talking here about Stripe, about PayPal, so this kind of really huge global players, which, in my view, they see the same opportunity as we
Exactly.
do. But from a different point of view, we even have an advantage, even though we are currently very small compared to them. We do have the advantage of, let's say, closing the loop of this ecosystem based on our existing technology and the technology that we're working on. So again, I would say that I'm very, let's say, optimistic about the positioning of xMoney to meet these future challenges in the coming months and years.
Yeah, and also, the people that are online here, and I see, their comments, they're like asking different questions about the tokens and everything. But, they have to realize that we are a European company. And to the best of my knowledge, the collection of, infrastructure, regulation, and team is unique right now in Europe. We know what we're doing. We're working very hard. We're not people of announcements. We're people of facts. So that's why we want to create first the facts and then go out and say, okay, we did that or this. But if you think about it, we think that we are the leader right now in Europe, even if we are like very silent on what we're building. I'm very optimistic about that and very, very bullish.
And I think we will have the opportunity from now on with a new team and with the resources that we have to actually be a little more present in the community space, I would say. So, for example, I recently joined also the Telegram group, so I encourage everybody to also go there, and you can, for example, you can ask me questions there directly. I'd be happy to, to talk to you if we can get through the spam filters, I would say. Yeah. And we'll be doing AMAs, and I think you'll get a chance to meet the rest of the new team, I would say, of the global team, in the coming weeks and months. And we wanted to let you guys know that we are working on this, and like Greg said, we are more doers, and we like to talk to you guys when we have real progress and real things to share. This town hall was more of a first step, I would call it. Actually, it's something that we want to do more often, like I said, and hopefully, we will manage to stick to that plan and share more great news really, really soon.
Absolutely. As you said, we are builders. And I just want to say to everybody that, as builders, we work very hard. The team is working super hard. And what we want to do is, we want to make, xMoney a global company and make it big. And in order to do that, you don't just jump on a train. There's a lot of work that needs to be done. And that's why we're here. We are here to do these, extra miles that are needed. All of us very much motivated and super actually motivated to have this exciting community, and that we think we'll be more excited with the news that are coming the next few months, and they're based on the amazing job that is being done in the background for this like last 6 to 8 months, and we thank everybody for their patience. But again, if you want to build something that will last and build value, you have to go step by step and with the right team.
Absolutely. And I'm repeating myself, but to me, this is a very exciting time that we're living. This year has been crazy, like literally. We haven't talked to the community too much about it, but Greg knows, I know, the rest of the team knows how hard we've been working, and all the challenges that we had to cross. And sometime in the future, we'll be looking back at this and really telling the stories about 2025.
I'm pretty sure that we will. And also the world is moving all the time, so you cannot just stand there and just wait for things to follow on your head. You have to move as well. Heraclitus used to say, everything is moving, tapadari, which means that everything is moving around you. You have to move as well. So at least even if you want to keep the balance or the right the existing equilibrium, you have to move as well. And in my humble opinion, and my 25 years of experience through different phases, I can tell you that in xMoney we don't just do things to remain in equilibrium. We do things actually to break the equilibrium and be a head start to a lot of things that we are working on, and we think they're like the future of payments, infrastructure, stablecoin, and of course blockchain as a technology to be used on the next technological wave that is coming or has come to us, and we haven't seen it yet. But I can tell you that things are moving super fast.
Yeah, and we are still very, very early. Yes, I'm looking forward to that age when blockchain adoption will be as it is with banking adoption today. So or even more, because
Listen.
this will.
Yeah, but I'm talking with all the founders of blockchains in the world. I can tell you that everybody is highly interested in what xMoney is doing. Why? Why is everybody interested? I mean, why xMoney? I mean, because they see that the way to bring to the real world and to use this fantastic technology is from platforms like xMoney. But you have to connect the things that they seem unconnected. So there is so much mileage that you have to do in order to match the two, which, if you don't have the right team and the right infrastructure, you cannot do it. So that's why everybody's looking at xMoney, and I'm talking to them every day. And they see, guys, I mean, yes, you have done that. We have connected the two worlds, and now you're going to the next step. Yes, we are. We do. And that's why this interest is growing by the day, which means that, we will grow our network, they will grow their network, and we will grow the value of our enterprise. So I see, xMoney as one of the main players in the global landscape of, crypto, fiat, payments, DeFi, and the alike sector, the bridge, as I say, of these two worlds, which will bring us, will open a whole new opportunity palette to everybody.
Very good words. Thank you very much, Greg, for sharing these insights.
Thank you.
Any closing words, maybe, just to try to wrap things up?
Sure. I mean, first of all, I'd like to thank everybody that is online here. I'm sorry if I cannot answer all your questions. Some of them, they have probably been answered from what I'm saying or implying, and some others will be answered very soon. One thing I want to say to everybody is that, if you think that this technology is the future, invest your time, effort, and resources into people that you see they're walking the right path. That's super important. You don't invest on people or teams that you see that they're just out there to pump and dump and to just make you happy for 30 seconds. Here in xMoney, we build value. We look in the short to medium to long term in different ways. We are very strategic, so you have to trust the team, and you have to trust we do everything that comes to our hands to give to this enterprise a value that will prevail in the near future. So be optimistic, be patient, and stay tuned.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Greg, and thank you everybody for participating and watching us in, I think, the first community town hall, if I'm not mistaken, but maybe the first of many. So thank you again very much to everybody. Goodbye, have a good weekend, and see you very soon.
Stay strong.